Hi guys, it's Amy and you have found Amy Loves Crochet. Thank you so much for wanting to spend any time with me today by clicking on this video. I really do appreciate you, whether you are a subscriber to my channel or if this is the first time you've seen me. So thank you very much. I had no idea how much response I would get, how much interaction I would get from this YouTube community, and my mind is just blown. I appreciate it so very much, and I try to say it in every single video, but just in case you missed it before, this is so much fun and so much happiness this has brought to me. I have so much joy when I'm doing this with you, and when I see your comments and when I see new subscribers and I see you guys coming back again. So I hope that you guys are enjoying, my content just as much as I enjoy providing it to you, because it means a whole lot to me. It means so much to me. Every single comment I read and I respond to individually, like I'm talking to you myself. I don't ever want to cookie cut, pass out. You get a thank you, you get a thank you, you get a thank you. No, I am reading every single comment and taking it to my heart, and I thank you for that. I did want to touch a little bit on my videos maybe being out of order. In the beginning, when I started to upload videos, I wanted to do one a week. I didn't want to overwhelm myself with responsibilities or obligations because, as you know, I babysit my granddaughter, and anytime that her mom and dad or other grandma, their schedules change, I have more hours with her, which is fantastic. I love that. Thank you. But I'm still required to work 24 hours a week for my job. And so a lot of times I'm working on the weekends or at nights. And so I didn't know when I would be able to, I wanted to commit to one video a week. And so I had to film a bunch and put them in, put them on the shelf so that I would have them available if I wasn't available to make a new video that week. And somewhere along the line, I just started stacking them up. And I want to talk about things more as they're happening, more real time. So if I've got a bunch of stuff saved up, then it's weeks and weeks, months later when you finally see what I was talking about way back then. So my What's in the Tote videos, I'm going to do one a month for those. And there's 3 in the queue ready for you guys to see for the next 3 months, and then I still have 3 or 4 totes to still go through. So those will always be behind the times. I might have found something in there and we talk about it on that video, but then, like for example, these cakes, I finished making some more cakes. You saw part 1 in a different video, and then in this video I'm going to talk about part 2. And I say these are just the scraps that I found with you guys. Well, you guys haven't seen me find those with you guys yet. Those are going to be in videos that are coming out and from What's in that Tote. So you're going to see, things out of order, like I've moved some stuff here, but then next video that you get, they might be in a different order because it was pre-recorded. So this uploading time frame, the scheduling, it's always so much fun to try to make sure, I've got a video to upload every 4 days, which is what I wanted to do. After I went from once a week, I thought I can tackle once every 4 days. So that's where I'm at now. It may not be the same day of the week, obviously, because I just count out 4 days to get my next one uploaded. So you've got some more What's in that Tote coming up. I might have talked about what's in that tote in a video that I recorded after it, but showed to you before. So pardon any confusion that you might have from what you see behind me or things that I'm saying that I'm talking about, because eventually you will see it all. So I wanted to give an extra big thanks because I really enjoy you guys, and I really enjoy this. And the more you interact with me, the more fun this is. So I'm learning from you, you're learning from me. It's fantastic. I explained to you about my hours and my out of order videos. And I just want to say again that I comment every single comment that you guys put in. I read it like I'm sitting here talking to you, and I respond to it as such. So thank you. I do appreciate you guys so much. So the first thing I wanted to talk about is a little bit of yarn haul that I had at Michael's. I went to Michael's. I had to take my granddaughter to a doctor's appointment, and along this one street there is a Hobby Lobby, Joann's, and a Michael's, all within like a mile or 2 of each other. So we went into, I decided to try Joann's first because I never know what I'm going to find at Joann's. And sometimes it's really good. But sometimes Joann's something down for 50 cents less and calls it clearance, that makes me angry. I'm not gaining a big old deal on that. So don't call it clearance. That frustrates me to no end. So I go into Joann's. I like to look around. This one is not one that I go into very often, so I really had to kind of look around and find what I was looking for, and that's never a fun thing, right? So I didn't film too much in Joann's, and everywhere I take my granddaughter, people talk to me. So if I try to film something and people just walk up and start talking to me like, hello, do you not see I'm doing something? Do you want to be on camera? What do you want here? So Joann's didn't get any film footage. But then I did go to Michael's, and I'll show you that. I think I really, really scored there. There's no sale price on these, so I don't know that they are on sale. But I came over here and grabbed these guys. And I've been watching this since it was full price. I got 2 skeins. More here. And I already have a ton of this, so I didn't pick up any more. But I'm not doing too bad. I've got a bunch in here. I'll show you when I get home. And so now let's take a look at what I did find, what I actually did bring home. This one's not too exciting. I mean, I think so. I bought a bunch of this at a previous clearance from Michael's. It's impeccable speckle stripes, and it's really, really pretty. There's so much different coloring going on. So you could, hold up 2 different skeins and may not think that they go together because there's so much red on this one and you don't see any red on this one really, but they do, and they're all even the same dye lot. So I was pleased with that on a previous trip. On this trip, this little guy was there all by itself, $2, marked down from $4.99. So I went ahead and picked him up too. And you see, just like plain yellow and green, whoop-de-doo. And then you go, oh, look at that green in there. That's so exciting. So these are a 4-weight, and they are 160 yards in this skein, and 3 ounces. And it is 3 ounces. I said that. And it is, the color lot is grassy, and 100% acrylic is what I was looking for. Just wanted to make sure, because I'm very surprised sometimes when it's an acrylic blend, and I thought it was just acrylic. So I had seen these when I got these, and I go, I don't need any more green, but he was all by himself, so I thought, yeah, I'll make a hat out of that or something real quick. But I couldn't just leave him there all by himself. So that's exciting. I like that one. And then there were some blue ones with it, but they weren't on clearance. So somebody clearly carried them from the regular price aisle to the clearance bin. Okay, so the next thing that I had been looking at these quite some time. I'm sure we all did. These started out as $11.99, and these were clearanced for $5. And so I went back and forth on which colorway I wanted to pick up. I got 4 of these. It is called Rosette, I think. Yep, Rosette. It is a 4-weight. It is 60% cotton and 40% acrylic. See, I would have thought that that was full cotton because it's very, very nice. But it is super soft, so you know there's something good in that one. So yeah, 481 yards, and I picked up 4 of these. So I thought that was super, super pretty. One of the other things that I run into with my filming is that there is no light in this room other than a plug-in lamp. And that really makes for difficult filming for Amy, because number one, I count on some sunlight from this window, but today's a rainy day and I have zilch sunshine coming through. So I had to mess around with my light a little bit. I tried to sit in some different places, but this is the best that it's going to get today. So I tried to, make sure I could show you these where the color wasn't just getting blasted out. And so I think that's pretty good. That's very pretty. Very, very pretty. So 4 of those at 481 yards. I know I'm going to make a wearable, a shirt. I don't know if I'm going to make that shirt. It's kind of wonky looking. I mean, so simple looking when there's so many pretty designs out there. And then, because I couldn't decide, I got 4 of these as well. Ooh, that's really pretty. That's showing up really good. This one is called Shimmering Pond. And so, again, look at all the colors. It's so soft. Very, very pretty colors. So, it is a 4 cotton blend, which was very exciting to me because up here, these are all cottons that I can do a shirt out of, and they are cotton acrylic blends as well, but they're only a 3. And then my sugar wheel cotton up here from from Hobby Lobby, those are all 3s. But then I got this Prima Suprema that's a 4, and I got it to go with this one, but didn't realize it wasn't the same weight, so that'll be interesting. And then I have some, I love this cotton that is 100% cotton, and it is a 4, but it's kind of, it's kind of wild color. So I don't know, you know, shirt wise, I'd have to pick just the right shirt to make with that. Whereas this is a little softer and more forgiving of the color wheel. So, super excited to have a 4-weight cotton that I can work a wearable from. So looking forward to that. Put that back up later. Okay. So you guys saw I did a video for some scarf and or cowl with the Unforgettable yarn. They had a couple more of those. This is a pretty colorway called Tidal, and it's kind of like the Icelandic red heart. Oh, look, yeah, it is red heart. So they might have used the same dye lot with that. But this is one that the regular price is $5.99, and I got these for $3. And I don't know about you, but I was always confused between the landscapes and the Unforgettable because they look the same to me. They're both a 4-weight, but one of them, this one has 147 yards in the landscape, and Unforgettable has like 270 or something. 270 yards and 147. Looks exactly the same, $1 less. I don't understand. But in any event, I got one, this guy, Tidal in the Unforgettable. And then this was a really, really pretty kind of softer tones. As you know, I'm very colorful, very, very variegated, very colorful in my yarn selections. But I thought this one was really pretty. It's just very, very soft greens and browns. It's called Meadow. And there's a little bit of some kind of orangey brownish. I don't know, it's hard to explain. So those will be nice to work up another 1 skein cowl from or whatnot. And then I got 3 of these landscape ones, and it is called Apple Orchard. So there was one more in the bin, but it was really, like, this one's kind of in bad shape, but the other one was a mess. And if you saw my Unforgettable cowl video, you'll understand that in this type of yarn, you can't mess around with it too much. It's going to get very fuzzy and halo-y and lose quite a bit of its niceness, its smoothness. So this I'll deal with. The other one that was in the bin was just a mess, and I'm not messing with that one at all. So then the next thing and the last thing that I think I wanted to talk about is this yarn that I have been watching out for quite some time. It is the Forever Fleece, and it was $11.99 originally. I got it for $3. Woo! So this one is the colorway Unicorn, of course, and it was the only 2 skeins that they had. I would have chosen to get a solid color if they had it. I would have chosen to buy a 3rd one of these if they had it, but it was just these 2, and to go from $11.99 to $3, total score. So these are such pretty colors, you know, so stereotypical baby colors, but just awesome, 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 awesome. So I'm very excited to have gotten those. Okay, so the next thing that I wanted to talk about in today's video is that my Willow Squares blanket is finally finished. Yay! You guys saw me talk about my Willow Squares project a few months back. I do a project like that as a filler. I'm never going to sit down and do squares. So you knock out a square or 2 squares every day, every couple of days or whatever, until you finally get your project done and then get them all set together. So it started, I've made a ton of different willow blankets. I'll pop in some pictures here and there and show you the different color combinations that I've used in the past. And then in making this blanket now, I laid them out. I lay out my squares and like this, and then I decide, okay, I want 1 white square in each row. So I start moving stuff around until I have 1 white square in each row, and then I make sure I have 1 yellow square in each row or whatnot. And so I work very, very hard to make things look random. I just want to put that out there. I don't know if any of you just throw them up and let them land and that's how you sew them together, but Amy tries really, really hard to make it look very, very random. Anyway, so that's how I process those. And so in making this one, I have one on my bed. I use it all the time, and it's too long because I saw the measurements that were out there in the world for a queen size bed. And so it says that it should be like 81 by 63 or something to that effect. The one that I made was, I was just making it for a single person as opposed to the queen size bed. And so mine went just 50 inches wide and 83 inches long. So it's too long. I just made it too long, and it falls off the bed all the time because it slides off the foot of the bed. So it was very important to me to make this Willow Square blanket fit just on the mattress and not go up onto the pillows, because I'm not covering my head with the Afghan, right? I just want it from here to my feet. So that's what you're going to see in this picture, is how it fits on my bed. And here it is. So I did just do a single crochet border and then a double crochet with 3 double crochets in the corner. I didn't do any chain spaces. And I really, really tried. As you guys know, I've talked about this, the window pane effect. When you're putting 2 squares together and you do it with a single crochet, it leaves like this window pane. So this blue line is a little ridge. It stands up. I'm trying to hold that so that you can see it. It stands up. And so when you come to the edge here, I want to do the same thing. I want to put that ridge in this row of single crochets, but it didn't work out. I tried it and it wasn't working. If you saw my video where I did the cylinder pillow, this guy, I was showing you how I did that, how I went into the back of the loop. These are half double crochets, and I went into the back, not the back loop, but like the back of the formation of the stitch, and it pops it all the way forward like this. So I was kind of trying to do the same thing with the willow squares along the border up at the top here, and it didn't work because those are just single crochets. So that technique really works best with a half double because of the formation of the stitch. So I don't know if I'm ever going to get that I want this raised single crochet to be along the top as well. So, but otherwise, I love it very, very much. I think it looks absolutely beautiful. This one ended up being 54 by 63 because each of the squares are 9 by 9. So I did 6 across and 7 lengthwise. And I'm absolutely thrilled with how it turned out. So if you have not tried this willow stitch, I highly suggest it. It's a little bit time consuming to try to show it to you. There's a lot of videos out there, so that's not on my horizon to do the tutorial for the willow, but there are lots out there. So knock yourselves out with that, because I think you will be very, very pleased. And like I said, these other pictures that I showed you, the variegated, some of the variegated ones, and it's so funny because I remember working on that variegated. It's kind of different tans with a green in it and a little bit of blue. And then they made a different one that was more blue than green. And I thought that they would go together, and they did not. So then I had to make 2 separate ones because I'm cuckoo like that. Instead of just putting something together that's slightly a little bit different in color, I thought, nope. And then I had to double all my work and get all those extra squares made, and it was kind of a headache. So the lap one that I made earlier, this one has the maroon or burgundy yarn for the border, and I made this one in the blue. So whichever way, I really could have picked any of the colors. The golden I had the least amount of, so I did want to make sure I get all of the golden made up and used. So there may be more golden squares, and I had no idea that you have to know you have enough to border your entire thing, and I didn't with the golden. So I thought about doing it in the white, but it's a little bit more bright and popping, I guess. I don't know. For fall colors, I like the maroon and the blue. So I can get off my willow stitch pile is gone from that corner, and I won't be looking into that anytime soon. I do have 5 or 6 squares because I made too many, going back and forth with how many sizes or how many squares I needed because I wasn't sure what size I was going to make it. So I'm pretty much halfway to to another lap blanket. Maybe I'll go ahead and continue that one in the white, in the cream. I like that idea. So maybe I'll get back to that. Maybe I won't. Who knows? I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay, so you guys have heard me use the term nod before. It's next on deck. It's not a project that I've started yet, so it's not a whip, but I have pulled the yarn out of here and set it in a project bag with a pattern, and I know what I'm going to do with it. I just have to get to that point, clear out what I'm working on now, and that'll be next on deck, just like a batter up to bat. So I've got, near a 10 or a dozen nods coming up, so I'm super, super excited because you guys know for me to find another project, I over-research. I overthink it too much. And so because I've got those all lined up, I have 0 stress right now. I'm feeling pretty good. So yay! Whew, had a little tickle in my throat. Sorry about that. So I guess the last thing that I was going to tell you guys about is all of these. So I showed you my scrap cakes that I made, cakes out of scrap yarns, and just tied them all together in a previous video. And so I think I had about 5 from then. And that was one of the videos where I said, these scraps you saw me pull these out of what's in that tote, and you haven't seen the what's in that tote video yet. So those are the ones that are a little bit out of order. But so you've seen me make up some, and then here I'll insert some pictures. This was, my sister got me this you can use different, more than one skein at the same time and just pull the yarn through here so that you're not getting all tangled up. And it's got a little pocket here and everything. And I was using this recently for scraps. I just toss the scrap in here when I'm done. Ta-da! And so I made up some more cakes. I've almost emptied that thing. You'll see the pictures. I'll put them in here to see how much scrap I've got left over. But this whole thing is cakes that I made out of my scrap yarn. So it's almost like there's a yarn haul in and of itself. So if you haven't done that, it is a whole lot of fun to just grab a different color. I have, as you see, I have all the balls and stuff laying out on the table, and I just tie a new one on, just tie a new one on, just tie a new one on. So as you get started in one of these, you're going to have no idea what's actually coming up next. And so that's kind of exciting. That'll be fun. All mixed matched fibers. There wasn't too much mixed matched size. There are some 3s and some thick 4s, or maybe even some small 5s in there. But for the most part, it's all worsted weight. It could be cotton, it could be acrylic or blends thereof. That's what scraps are all about, right? Some is metallic, some is variegated, some is solid. it's just a whole lot of fun. So that was great. I'm really excited that my scrap pile is very small now, you know, and because like a lot of times when I have a partial, I keep it with, so like these mandala grapes, there's a partial right here, and that's not going to go in my scrap bin, obviously. I'm going to wait until I'm done with all of that mandala ice grape before I put whatever's left into the scrap bin. So, well, I think that's all that I've got for you today. I talked about my yarn haul. I talked about my finished willow and my lap blanket. I've shown you all the pictures from that. And then my scrappy wall here, my scrap balls, my scrap cakes. So, thank you so very much for spending time with me today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope there's something that if you saw that you didn't know about before, or, you know, something that reminded you of something that you wanted to share with me and the rest of our community here. This is all about just chit-chatting and sharing crochet tips and so forth with each other. So thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate you guys so very, very much. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you again. Thank you. Bye-bye.